Good evening, our viewers all over the world. Good evening to you. My name is Pastor Helen Rudokino, coming on the waves of Majesty Christian Television Network, your popular choice. Today we have a special 101 with some beautiful ladies who are going to discuss on this topic, being a single mom and a career lady. As an introduction, I start by saying that today we are looking at a popular under the segment single parenting. Being a single mom appears to be a phenomenon we see a lot of these days. It's not entirely new because it has been with us and will continue to be. But how is the modern woman coping by combining a full-time job or career with the responsibility of raising kids today? So in this program, we will be looking at what it takes to be a single mother and at the same time pursue a full-time career. What are some of the intricacies involved in balancing the parental role with personal career ambitions? And how do we empower single moms to be able to get more out of their lives and prevailing personal circumstances? So, our guests today are single parents and career ladies. So from my left, I have Jerisa Tony, who is an entertainer and a comedian. Say hello to Radio Voice of Niger or Majesty TV listeners.
Hi, my name is Rita, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And then I have Ms. Susanaka, who is also the CEO of DID Foundation.
Yes.
And can you say hello to Majesty viewers?
I'm glad to be here.
And then we have, by my right side, I have our own friend, Ms. Victoria Wobo, who is also a registered nurse. And are you the CEO of
Yes.
of your Sarema Care?
Sarema Care.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then, not the least, we have SOBJ. I call her Sarah because I love that name. It's a powerful name she has. So Sarah is the educational law enforcement officer. So please welcome to our show.
Nice to have. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And you are also the CEO of Kotujam. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Right. So viewers, feel free to give us a call on 020 3374 160 should you want to interact with any of our special guests. Now, let me read this. Can we accept this working definition of a single mom? I want us to listen carefully. So a single parent is one not living with a spouse or partner who has most of the day-to-day responsibilities in raising the child or children. This also means this parent is one living with the children or child the majority of the time. Do we accept that?
No, it's correct.
Is it correct? Is it a correct definition?
Totally.
Yes.
Yes, I think it is.
So this parent is living with the children or child,
Yeah.
and then she is the one providing for everything
yeah.
for the child.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So now the first question is, do you think that single parenthood is a trendy choice today than it was in the beginning or in the earlier times of our parents? If so, why is this the trend?
I don't believe it's a trend. It's different from the days of our parents. I would agree to that, but that has to do with different factors that are present in our present days that our parents didn't have, that affected their marriages or their relationships.
Okay.
So majority of us didn't choose to be single. You just walk into a situation where you think, I just choose me and my kids.
Yeah.
Than
Okay.
stay in a relationship where you all are gonna be unhappy. So it's then not really a choice, but still a choice, because you could as well just stay in the relationship and be unhappy and live, unhappily ever after. So it's still a choice you have to make when you don't have a choice.
So are you saying that our parents stayed in relationship even when they were sorrowful,
Yes.
and then we cannot endure what they endured in this modern time?
Yes.
All right. Anybody can take up the floor.
Because those times our fathers or our husbands were the managers and the directors, and we have to stay home and take care of the kids. They were the breadwinners. But these days, no. And those times, schooling was very limited. So our mothers or our colleagues, or let's put it that way, were always at home. Most of them didn't have the educational background. So then, but these days, everywhere you go, in the media, everywhere, school, school, school. Therefore, no, even in Netherlands here, if your child doesn't go to school, Sarah will come and arrest you. You'll go to jail. Therefore, you do not like your daughter to stay home or your son to stay home. Okay. So, in this case, being single mother is not a trend as I see it, because everybody has you have a diploma, I have a diploma. So why do I have to stay home and take care of the kids then?
But even as the olden time, the time of our mothers, some of them still had their diplomas, and it's not that they stay at home; they were still working. Yeah. Some mothers were working, but somehow it's like they permit me to say this. It's like the tolerant level has gone to 0 point. So it's like the modern woman is not ready to tolerate that anymore.
Yeah.
No,
it's true.
SBO.
Well, I think in this situation, it's because to tolerate things our parents, our mothers were tolerating then, would probably hinder other things. That's the truth about it, because then we had culture that was playing a big role as well.
Yeah.
People did care about what others would think of them.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be the only one in the whole village that was leaving the husband.
Yeah.
And even if you did, the whole village are going to come against you.
Yeah.
You know, so you didn't have the freedom of saying, you know what, if you're not good enough for me, I'll be good enough for myself.
Yeah, okay.
You know, call that tolerance, so be it. But I think then they had other support systems we don't have now. Because if my mom was going to leave my dad, you had the aunties, the uncles, the grandmas, the grandpas that are going to say, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah,
they will be a part of the problems in the relationship. They will help out. They will talk to you people. Both parties will see reasons. But now, I've been in this country for well over 18 years.
Yeah.
So you can subtract that from my age.
Yeah.
So I've been on my own for a long time. No support system of any kind with a cultural background that would say, you know what, we will help out in this situation. Okay, then you meet somebody who is actually a stranger to you. You don't know their backgrounds. You just meet each other and you're believing in God for the relationship to work and the feelings you have then. And then along the line you figure out it's not what you thought it was. But then you have no therapists. We don't have an uncle or auntie that says, you know what, I'll talk to him or I'll talk to her. You don't have anything to rely on to help you through the relationship. Because a relationship is not something you do on your own. Let's be sincere.
two people,
And then what is left for somebody like me to do? I'll choose.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather be happy, you know, and make my kids happy than stay in a relationship where I'll be unhappy. I'll probably get a depression at the end of it all.
Yeah.
You know, so call it tolerance, so be it. You know, for me.
And also one thing I want to emphasize is before and now. Before, when children see their dad beating their moms, or the woman is saying, I cannot be in this relationship, going to the family for them to be discussed. But this time, moment something happens at home, the children goes to school, they discuss it with their teachers. You see a child here in Netherlands, a child goes to school and she or he is not happy, sitting quietly. The teacher will try and find out what is wrong with this child. And this is the moment the child is going to say, my mom hit my dad, or my dad hit my mom. And then the teacher would like to know more, trying to be nice with this child. And you see this child bringing out a lot. I know someone that a child was not happy in school, and then this boy opened up everything to the teacher. They invited the woman. The woman came to the school and said, yes, this is what I'm going through. So what happened? The social decided either they take that child or you leave that home. And it's a fact. So these are some of the, that now the woman is a single mother because of that. So these are some of the issues that can make us single mothers.
So what you are saying to our viewers is that the environment is contributing to the factor. Is that?
Yes.
Like
And the
you are not
technology.
technology. Do you buy to that, Jerisa?
Yeah, well, it's also, when I hear the stories, my mom always worked, and my mom always learned us, it doesn't matter what happens, make sure you have your paper, piece of paper, yeah, your diploma.
Education, yes.
Yes, education. Always first marry your paper, and then you can find out the rest. And that's how we were
Brought
brought
up.
up. Yes. And also, before, their daycare was different than nowadays. Because nowadays you can find daycare for your children easily. And before, you didn't want to bring your child to a neighbor or something. You
Stranger.
a stranger, yeah. You would take care of your child yourself.
Yeah.
But now you have like all those possibilities. So that's different also. So for women, it's now like, well, I put my child at daycare and I work. And that makes a change also.
Vic, we've not heard your voice. Thank you, Jerisa.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
So let me ask you the
listening to
next
everybody.
question. So,
Alright.
are there any special advantage to single parenting, which encourages young women of these days to choose this route
I
than
don't-
to do a double parent?
Well, I don't think it has to do with advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you actually do not choose to be. Some people have a choice of saying,
Yeah.
okay, I want to bring up a child on my own.
Okay.
And that is, you are very aware of what you are going into. Some people, it is just the circumstances, just like my sisters said. But reading an advantage to it will mean that you're placing it as as a choice of, well, this is what I'm getting out of it. No. The only thing I see is, and that is, it's difficult to say it's good, and it's difficult to say it's bad, because when you say it's good, that means you're telling people get out of your marriage, but then you should also understand there are people who chose to be single mothers as
exactly.
well.
Yes.
You understand? And there are people also who, through circumstance, through death, through distance, because there are people married, they're not living together, but they are married, but they are not living, sharing the same house. So if we go back to the definition of a single parent, does not always mean that a single parent is not married.
Okay.
They can be married, but they are not sharing the same household.
Okay.
So at that time, you are also a single parent, and the law also recognizes that as well as a single parent home.
Okay.
So it is not about disadvantage. If we come back to your question, it is about when you make the choice, or when you find yourself in that situation, you now try to get the best out of it, and the best is trying to make a living, to keep your standard of living, your style, and you want to give your children a good education. You want to, at the same time, give the children a good upbringing as well. So you know it's hard work. So you go into it with a positive mind. So that is the advantage in it, that you have to be aware that you're going to go into it with a positive mind, because you can also go into it with a negative mind, which will now, at the end of the day, break you down. And that becomes the disadvantage of choosing. Because if you are in a difficult relationship and you come about choice, advantage of, oh, I will be better off staying on my own, you have to think twice.
Okay.
Staying on your own, that's fine. That is an advantage to your own feeling. But can you do it? Can you run the race? Can you do it all on your own? Because most times we do not know how heavy it will become when we are stepping out. Because stepping out, that means, oh, you're getting a breathing space. But then when the real show starts...
What do you mean by the real show?
The real show is now that you stay at home and you have to run to the shop. But there's nobody to look after the child at that moment. The weather is not good. And you can't pick up the child at all times. You can't tell somebody, can you get me that? That's an empty house. Because even with, if we say with a man that is the relationship is not working with, you can still communicate. It is ending up at the end of the day, you're not having a conversation, a very intelligent conversation with anybody. So the show is starting. It starts little by little. It is realizing I have to earn two people's money. Because sometimes you even have a bought house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out of the house. You have to earn hard cash. And hard cash means hard work. So how are you going to earn hard cash? Where are you going to keep the children?
Yeah.
And how are you going to make the food? How are you, you are continuously working. So if that is advantageous, I don't know. The only time I see an advantage, the only time I see an advantage is in it is only when my bank account is smiling and within a week it's draining down again. And I'm like, oh, the show starts again. And then you're working hard. So I would say it's a situation you find yourself in, you accept it, you make the best of it. You are not proud to be a single mother, especially if you always want to be in a relationship. But it is a situation where you have found yourself. So you try your best to be happy in that very situation and make the best of it. And then if you still want a relationship,
Yes.
you can always keep yourself open in a positive way and make people, because being a single mother makes you too strong. Because you become too strong.
Yes.
You become
Become
like
a challenge
you
to every
become
man,
like a
actually.
Hercules, and you don't realize it. They come, you have everything. You have everything under control.
Yeah.
Yes.
They like you, but they're not coming. Why are they not coming? You're too strong.
Yeah.
They can't even buy you a knicker. Because you're already wearing two. So that's it.
That's a disadvantage.
So
as
it
well.
becomes a disadvantage becoming a single mother, especially the very pronounced one. I myself as an example. Because first you see my face and you go, whoa. and every time I'm telling you, I don't have time. I don't think I have time. Oh, let's go out for a drink. He said drink. Well, how did they do that?
My children are waiting for me.
Because you're counting how much you're going to lose sitting with him and having a drink.
Your children.
And the kids, where am I going to put them?
Oh, yes.
With the little time I have
Yeah.
off, go to drink. that doesn't, it doesn't come into the packet of a single mother.
With a job.
Yeah. So you need a man who comes in and said, you know what? Oh, why don't we just take the children, take everything? And then you're smiling.
Okay.
But many men do not come that way. Many men come directly. Wanting you. Just you.
Yeah.
Because men don't see broad. But a single woman sees everything.
She has to.
She sees everything. She calculates everything. She lives in her diary. She knows where the space
24/7.
is.
It's turning 24/7.
She's working continuously. So
Okay.
advantage, no one yes. Disadvantage, a whole lot of it.
I don't even believe it has an advantage, though. Apart from your state of mind.
Okay.
Especially if you're coming out of a bad relationship.
Yes.
You know, the only advantage then is you have a choice, to decide what you want, when you want it, and how you
And
want
how,
it. And then you have rest of mind. Because I could relate to what you're saying. Look at what happens to the kids. They lose a parent. If every child, let's be sincere to ourselves, needs a dad and a mom.
Yes.
Because our society demands of us to be able to fit in, in a certain way. And if children are not taught the way men behaves, they don't know how to behave to a man in the society.
It's true.
If they're not taught the way women behave, they don't know how to behave to women. So
Yeah.
if you're a single mom and you have a boy and a girl like I do,
Yeah.
just start praying you have a support system so that the guy or the boy child will have somebody to mirror on
Yeah.
as a man.
Yes, exactly.
And my daughter has me, and people call her Minnie. Minnie in the sense she's like me put in a photocopying machine.
Okay.
You understand? It's just the way it is. And then my son, is totally a different version of me. He's taking something out of me, but I still see the fact that he misses the father figure, and obviously his dad is trying his best to be there, but it's not like it was when we were together. I've not been single for too long.
Yeah.
So I see the differences now. clearer than somebody who's been single for a long time. And thank God, I mean, I may not complain. I
Yeah.
have a lot of men around me
Yeah.
that are, taking him to football, doing things with him, and so it's okay. But I can imagine what it is like, because sometimes he misses it too. He says, well, my father figured this, and
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
13.
Yes.
So the problem for me is starting, because I start to think of, I'd rather not go to soccer with you. I'd rather a man does that. And if your dad is not reacting to your soccer practices, then I need to look for an uncle. I need to,
Yes.
or pally up with somebody who's a buddy or thereabout,
Yeah.
or a boyfriend, lucky me. So, but then you need to figure out how to do that as well, because if it's a boyfriend and he's remaining a boyfriend, then he will never be a dad to your child.
Yes.
So, and it's not all fathers that could be dads as well. So it's actually, believe me, I think
It is
there's more
hard.
disadvantages in choosing that part,
Yeah.
starting off like that and thinking, you know what, I'm so made, I want to be single and I want to have a child. That, believe me, that's totally wrong. But if you find yourself in that situation, that is the only way forward, then just make the best of it. Like my sister said, you just look for the best way to handle that situation, so that everybody involved
Yes.
will go out happy, and the children will develop properly. They won't have too much shortcomings as a result of
Yeah.
your decision.
Yeah, exactly.
But no matter what, I mean, that's me. It is better to be a single mom
Just
and
love-
be happy, because a happy mom makes a happy child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Than
Yes.
to be in a relationship, you're having depressions every day.
It has also impact
Yeah.
on the children.
It has impact, negative impact. The children are growing up to see their
Mom
mom and dad in constant conflict,
Yes,
fighting.
exactly.
You change their person.
Yeah.
Psychologically, that is what we read. And
Yes.
it is the truth about it. You change that person.
Yeah.
They grow up to think this is the norm.
Yes, exactly.
And so it's a choice. It's
Wow.
a choice.
Wow.
You know.
Well, somebody out there listening to this broadcast, we are discussing today on being a single mom and also a career lady. Should you have any question for any of our panelists, just give us a call on 020 3374 160. I trust these experts will be able to answer any question that you can present to them. Oh, Susan, let me come to you. Maybe there are people out there who are listening to us right now who want to make a decision to become single moms. And please, can you look into the camera and tell them what it entails to be a single mom? Are there pros? Are there cons?
It's a very hard decision to make, but when it comes there's no way out, you just have to put your feet on the ground. But first of all, before you think of being a single mom, you have to think of being a magician.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you mean?
You have to be a magician. You have to be a mother, father. Being a magician is you have to always think ahead, thinking very fast, because
Okay.
without that, because you have to pick your child from school. You have to know your bank account is okay. You have to be at your work. You have to do this. You have to be fast. And also, when it comes to the side of the children, you have to always try and think of positive things saying to your kids. If your child is crying, or sometimes the children, they don't tell us. You ask your children, do you miss your dad? They say, nay, but it's not true. So then you have to find a way of consoling them. Even yourself, you are not happy, but you have to always think of making the children happy, because the moment something goes wrong in the life of the children, it's coming back to you. So you have to be a magician, going here, coming there, running up and down. So it's not easy, but when you are there, at the end of the day, you'll be fine.
Really?
Yes, it's not easy to be there.
So what about those single moms who go about speaking so negatively about their partners to the point that they pollute their children from mingling with their fathers?
I think that's terrible. I don't like that.
Yeah, you can speak.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that when women do that. And in my, how you call it,
Yeah.
environment,
Yes.
I've seen some women who did that,
Yeah.
and it's not good for the children. I like the children to find out how the parent is by themselves. Don't bring your frustration onto the children.
Do you mean that there's a way you can hide your frustration about your partner, and then you are still, when the kids are very inquisitive, they want to know, then you just pretend as if it never happened?
Oh, you don't pretend. You don't have to pretend. But it depends what you say to the children. If the children ask you a question, you give them an answer.
Correct.
But you can give an answer without lying. If they said, "Mom, did you have fight? Did he hit you?" Well, my ex never hit me. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a fight. What about? Oh, don't worry. It was between us. Don't you worry. Yeah, but people say he's a bad dad and da 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 da. And then I say he wasn't a bad dad when we were together. But what do you think about it now? I said it's not my dad. It's your dad. So
It's a
you
decision
you,
have to make.
you have to make that decision, not me. So I think leave it up to the children. You also have children who were who saw their mom and dad fighting, really
Yeah.
fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They saw that, so you don't have to say anything. Let them bring it on. They come to you. They tell you. They ask you stuff. And also, I remember my children. Mom, Daddy was better than you. You know, he's better than you. I said, oh, why? He's always doing nice thing with us. Wherever. I said, oh, okay. So let's sit together. They were small. Let's sit. Okay. This is the month of July.
Yeah.
You circle when Daddy picked you up. July, he didn't come. Oh, and what did we do in July? Swimming, we took the bike. Oh, what about August? He didn't come in August. Oh, I said, what did we do in August? We went to the movie. I said, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what about September? Oh, we saw him. I said, oh, where? At Grandma's. Oh, how long? 1 hour. I said, what did you do in that 1 hour? We went to McDonald's. Okay. And how many times did we go to McDonald's in September? 1, 2, for how long? Oh, 2 hours. I said, oh, okay. That's all I want to say. So,
Regarding to your question, why do some single moms
Are very sorrowful.
say some negative things about
Yeah.
their exes?
Yeah.
for your children.
Being a single mother is phases. We have phase 1 when you are really hurt. You have phase 2 when you are sorting yourself out, and we have phase 3 and others. When you are you're at your peak, you don't even care. But moment you are at phase 1, that is when somebody asks you most of the time, "Oh, how is your husband? Ah, I've left him. Ah, leave him. Ah, that's phase 1. You are bitter. That is when you come to the phase 2, then you start. Oh, how's your children? How's their man? Oh, he's fine. When the moment the person starts to ask more, I left him, then you start to talk. That is phase 2. When you get to the phase 3 and 4, then how is your husband? Oh, he's fine. Oh, how are the children? Oh, they are fine. You finish from there.
You don't talk anymore.
You don't talk anymore. But when you are the phase 1, you are bitter. You are everything. So then that is when. So any single woman who is saying negative things about their exes, they are in phase 1.
She's still in phase 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you can say stuff about your ex, but not to the children.
But some women are doing it.
So does it mean that you
have
can be in
phases.
phase 1 for 10 years?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
I mean, there are some who don't want
They get
to.
stopped in phase 1.
Exactly, they don't want to go further. They don't want to go
They don't want
further.
to. They refuse to accept it that they are single mom. Meanwhile, they are there.
Yeah, but some stay in phase 1.
They are still in phase 1. Anybody you talk to, how's your husband? And say, oh my, how's your husband and the kid? Oh, I left him. He start with that structure. Then no, just classify him or her. She's in phase 1.
Yeah, I think the
Yes.
sometimes it's like being in mourning.
Yeah.
And, when you because you have to see that the person also lost something.
Yeah.
And when we lose something, we come into this phase. We have the phase of that time that we were very bitter,
Yeah.
and the time of acceptance, like you said, that phase 3. That's the time of acceptance. That's where when we start seeing things in its reality, even all the bitterness and everything. Just like when we lose somebody in death, it is also the same thing when we lose somebody who has traveled a far place or somebody who has just left us in a relationship. So you see that the other person takes a longer time to come to terms with what has happened. And at that time, that is when they need the most help. And we see that most of them in that situation do not get the right help. Because if they get the right help, it will shorten the time of coping for them. but they don't get the right help. People listen to them, but nobody draws them near to say, okay,
You feel abandoned.
I can see you're still bitter. I can see you're still upset. And then try to let them see they can really move on. They can really move on. It doesn't have to happen in a day, but it will come to that when they keep themselves busy. So you see them when they get the right help. The right help doesn't have to be from a professional. It has to be with friends as
The
well.
right
It has to
people.
be with the church. It has to be with the
But
community.
there are some of them who are in the church and they are also in a community, but they have refused to go further than phase 1.
Yeah.
And maybe this event took place maybe 10 years ago.
Yes.
And they are still lamenting bitterly.
Yeah, it has also to do with an individual as well. You know that I can step over it and move on does not mean that the other person can do it. There are people that really stay in it for the rest of their life, and there are people that can't just not believe they can't, stress out how they felt, the bitterness, wanting to even strangle the person in absence. That's also a process. Can you help it? Yes, you can help it. Do they need a professional help? It is individual. You can just talk to one person and that talk is enough. The other person has to go to a psychologist or to a psychiatric home. We have them. And then bringing it to the children. The children are there. You see them. You are in this situation where you are now turning into a mini mad woman. And you're like, if not, and walk.
Yeah.
So it takes the grace of God for you to now call yourself back and say, okay, they may be in the picture, but they are not the problem. They didn't cause the problem. I have to pick up myself. I have to be positive. I have to start blessing so that I can receive blessing as well. Is it all like that? No, it doesn't. It takes a process, and you must give yourself a chance. And the advice to women who are still in this bitter phase, who can't let go, is to let them understand that the world does not revolve around this man or this woman, because it could be a woman, a man suffering in this kind of situation. There is a better place. If you start moving on, you will get to that better place. If you start blessing, if you start remembering how it used to be good, you will now start asking yourself, where did it go wrong? You will always see where you also went wrong in it. It is never a one-sided thing. It's always a two-sided thing.
Okay, can somebody be in such a situation and then you desire to want to go back, and there's an opportunity for you to want to go back, but because of pride you don't want to humble yourself? Because I love what you said. You examine yourself, you examine where you went wrong, and then you want to go back. So what is holding some of them from going back? Is it pride, or is it that the man has the other partner has moved along, or is it just that maybe there are some clique of friends or gang of friends who wouldn't want you to go back?
But
Yes.
you're talking in a situation. So can I follow you?
Yes.
You're talking in a situation where the choice of leaving is the man's. How about if you're not even bitter at your separation?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that? Because I'm not a bitter person.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's probably because it's a choice. It's something. It's due to unsolvable differences, and
Okay.
then you're grown-ups, and we were matured, and it was a decision I had to make.
Yeah.
With all respect to my ex, but it didn't leave me with any bitterness. That's the truth about it. So if I put myself in that situation, there is not gonna be easy going back, because it's a well-thought choice. So that situation is probably gonna apply to people who didn't have a say in the separation. Like maybe the partner just packed his things and he left you. Then they probably will be bitter than really bitter, because one, it was a shock probably. Two, you start thinking, where did I go wrong? And to be sincere, I don't know if it's a one-sided idea, but women in that kind of situation don't own a career. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
true.
let's be factual.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're too bitter, you're too disrupted to be able
To build up a career.
to think of an ambition.
Yeah.
You know, they cannot even do right by their children because they're centered, they're focused on what the man has done wrong.
Yeah.
And how their lives have been,
Shattered.
disrupted and shattered. So I think we're talking about a different set of single moms.
Yes,
Yeah.
single
When we
moms with
talk about
career.
that.
Yes.
You know, but
with
we're
career.
talking about single moms with,
With
career.
career, yeah.
Then you probably you got it together, girl.
Yeah.
You got it together to be able to keep the children still moving on, and you have a career.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
in this part of
So
the
how are they
world.
coping up? Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
can tell you it's not easy, but you have to be a superwoman because you have to be able to manage your agenda. You have to be able to manage your agenda at work. It depends on what you're doing. You
Yes.
know, I mean, I started up as a law enforcement agent like 9 years ago. I was in uniform, walking the streets before I became a member of the management. I
Yeah.
had a team of 33 people. But then I was still in my relationship, no matter how not working it was. But the moment the choice, I had to make a choice of stepping out of the relationship. I had to choose to change my job as well, because there's no how I'll be working in the nights and leaving my kids at home by themselves. They're still
Okay.
minors. I couldn't manage my home at that point. Not to talk of managing 33 people at work.
Okay. Yes.
So I couldn't stay in the same environment, the same function I had,
Yeah.
while I still had a stable support group, because my ex was a stable support group. When it comes to that, I got a job and he's got the home when I'm not there.
Okay.
So when you're gonna have an opening, because that's what it is. That one person is going out of a synergy, then you have to feel the synergy. Either you change your job, or you look for somebody else, a sitter or something. I couldn't pay a sitter that I was going to be living in. I couldn't bring anybody from Africa to come and sit down with my kids.
Actually had an au pair.
You see, I mean, but you know what that means, though, when you have an au pair.
It was.
you know?
It was. I actually had an au pair, and one thing, when you come to, you have to surround yourself with good people,
Okay.
good friends, good neighbors,
With energy.
good energy, a good church.
Yeah.
Because I would say the church was a very big strength for me, because sometimes I am forced to work on a Sunday like I worked today.
Yeah.
And I'll just drop the kids at the church.
Okay.
I just hand them over like that, and they'll just take them in, and I know they'll bring in their home. Or I'll just tell somebody, I will not be home when the church is closed, and they
Yes.
take them home and they feed them. If you don't have a good church where you function properly,
Yes.
that becomes a problem.
Yes.
Good people and good neighbors, that helps a lot. Then you also have to have good carers as well. But one thing I know I did to be able to handle a career, because with a career, my career goes with also studying all the time. You have to be continuous. You're
Upgrade,
like,
yes.
you must be up to date.
Yes.
And working as an independent nurse, you have to be up to date, because whenever they are giving you a job, you don't want to tell them you don't know that, you don't know that, you don't know that. No,
Yes.
you want to know so much that they will be calling you all the time.
Yes.
So the children, I gave them a chance to choose the carers.
Okay.
They go from place to place, and I have to be positive with them as well. Because sometimes they come mumbling, oh, are we going to go? So it's all right. No problem. If you go today, if you don't like it, then you will not go again there. And you see they go, but you teach them, and you don't go into their negative vibe.
Yeah.
You bring them out of it. And you set them right. You said, all right, okay, what is going on? Mama have to work. You know I have to work. So you go there, you be a nice child, and you get something very nice from Mama. Ooh, that's a nice packet unopened. And they become positive. And I have children that when I'm going, they are able to say, bye, Mom, without a problem. When they want to do something, they actually call me, Mom, can you check your agenda? When do you have time? So, and so time. So that we can do. So they grow with the trend because you were always positive with them. They know you are going. You're coming in, and they're watching you if you're sitting down. They are it's watching what you're doing. And they say, Mom, what are you doing? I'm going out. I have an appointment in Amsterdam. Okay. You just hear, okay. They are fine. And they are really fine. They are not pretending they are fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because by the time you are off, they now attack you like a crocodile attacking her. It's like all the questions. They have to ask all the questions. They have to do everything very fast. They work like your diary as well because they know they have to be fast with all the problems they have.
Try to push it.
And if you're not listening, say, Mom, you're not listening. And you also tell them, yes, I know I am not listening. Can you just keep what you want to ask me now? I want to do something. And they would.
Yeah, that's
You
what
train them.
Talk to the children.
You talk to them.
Communicate.
You give them a
very
choice.
okay.
Communicate to them.
A choice of what to eat.
So in that case, then, would they still allow you to be able to enter into another relationship?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and-
You know, my children, they were like, Mom, let's go swimming. I said, okay. And we were in the swimming pool, and I was standing alone, and then they came with a man. And they said, Mom, this man, he doesn't have a wife.
Oh, they can.
And we like him. And you always said, if I take another man, he has to like my children. We like him. And I'm like, I don't know those children. They don't look like me. So so stuff like that. And then other time, it was like Mother's Day.
Yes.
They knocked at the door. Mom, can we have your pin pass?
Yeah.
I said, pin pass? Yes, we want to do something. He said, no. And then I heard,
They talk to
tick, 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 tick.
themselves.
Mom, please, can we have your pin pass? I said, no. And then tick, 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 tick. One more time, and then they came in. Mom, we need your pin pass. I said, why? Why? We want to go to date.nl and find you a man for Mother's Day. I'm like, okay.
And you're gonna have to pay for it.
Okay. You know, I said, no, it's okay, it's okay. So, you always talk about stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then
that's,
the-
These kids are
the
funny.
nicest part. That,
Yeah.
They are put in a situation where they have to think a
They are
lot.
so-
But it depends on what age, though.
I would say I had a problem with that because my son actually just left my bed at 7 years. He's
Okay.
7 years plus now.
Okay.
Okay,
So
still
it's
very
like,
young.
even if we just have a family member or somebody in the house and he's a man, they must be in their bed 7:30. That's the rule. Whether there is a nanny or I'm home or not. 7:30, you're in bed weekdays. No talking, no. 7 o'clock we start.
Bam.
We start. 7:30, you
Yeah.
close the eye, the sleep will come. You don't have to go to the sleep. That's bullshit. So the sleep will come to you, just close your eye, that's all.
Yeah.
So it's like, he'll keep awake.
you don't know them.
Then he will run downstairs. He wants to pee. He just peed. And then he will ask me, Mom, I want to ask you something. Is he sleeping here? I will say, who? You know, it's the man he means. So okay, if he's sleeping here, there is no problem. Tell him the guest room is there.
Kids are funny.
Yeah, and they will also remind you, oh, the guest room bed is not made up. Oh. You have to make it up now before you get tired because he's sleeping there. And he will make sure he's sleeping also. He has his bed, but he will sleep in my bed. So, but gradually, he's now the one telling me they have to find me a man. You know?
Yeah.
They have to find me a man, and I have to get married because he wants a brother, and my daughter wants a sister. Because my daughter said, if you have to have another child, don't repeat
A boy.
this brother that I have. I have enough of him. So have another type.
Yeah.
So to be safe,
They are
have a
the
girl.
same.
So it's not. And it's also the way you relate with them.
Yes,
Makes
that's
them
important.
because they know. I tell them, Mama is the boss. I'm the boss here. So if any man comes into this house and doesn't like you and treats you wrong, I throw them through the window. Mama can do it.
Mama
So
is
they
super.
will have to come and they will have to be lovely, they have to be nice people. So you be rest assured that nobody is coming here to abuse you in any way at all. So they are confident. They know, okay, mom will make sure it's somebody, a good person that will come into the house. So they are comfortable. You understand? So it's the way you approach them, it's the way you talk to them, it's your openness as well that makes them believe and be relaxed as well.
I know.
Thank you so much. So let's go to the fourth question. So how similar or different are the challenges or opportunities confronting single parents? How similar? Is it the same?
I think it's the same.
Similar problems?
Unlike I think so. Because unlike I said, phases, it's all phases. Because everybody goes through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. There's no single mom that is there's no woman or a man that has been single and immediately you ask him or her, she or he will not be a bit bitter. You say, I don't care, but no, you care. In presence of people, yeah, for me, I don't care. Oh, let him go or let her go, but at the back of your head, you care, or inside, you care.
Reasons to be bitter.
You have so that is the phases. So we all relate to the same. we all relate to the same phase 1, phase 2, and to the highest level, to the peak. Like some of us, we are the peak. Now.
I think for me, it's on different level because I have always been, I would say, I've always been the breadwinner. You know, so I'm used to working all the time. But then the difference is there is this difference of me having my work, and there is this part of the relationship. So it's like I can't mix it in my situation because when I had a problem with my relationship, I didn't have the fear that I would not have money because I already had the work. I had the job, I had the salary coming in. I was already running the house myself. So, but I had that, the problem of, okay, I don't want my relationship to be over. I want my marriage to stay. I want my children to enjoy having a father. I wanted all that. I wanted to go back to school. That means if I have a partner, when I'm in school, he'll be able to be with the children so we can share running the home. But when that fell off, you have that side of losing your relationship, your man, and you also have the part of thinking, okay, plan B. Well, how do I do it now? Where do I fix? Because I was just having children as well, and I was actually 7 weeks pregnant when my guy left. When my husband left, I was 7 weeks pregnant. So I was like, okay, now I have this, and I have the child. That means I can't go to the school, so I canceled the school. I told them I'm not coming. So your head begins to work in a different way. Because I didn't have the problem that I can't pay my bills. No, that wasn't my problem. My problem is, how do I become pregnant, have the little child, and be alone in the house? That was my problem. You know, so I had to think. I have to start using my diary. Every time has to be made proper used of. I have to think of my wardrobe. I have to reduce my wardrobe because having too much wardrobe means too much work. So that means I'll be too busy washing and doing everything. So I have to cut down things. I have to start having my friends. Who are my friends? Who can I rely on? I have to learn how to say no to things. You know, so you keep planning as well. So I think it's individual. It may be similar to some point, but then you see it create its own path again and become personal again. So I think, everybody experiences it in a different way. Managing your home also with your children, you also experience it also in a different way. And yes, there are also career women who are still bitter, but as also career women. You know, when they are doing their job, because when I am doing my job, I go 0 level. I don't think anything except that job.
Okay.
When I come home, that's where I take my problem. And I have 2 ways. I don't go to sleep thinking. I like my sleep. Every problem, I believe, as a career woman, even when you have a home problem, when you have your break, you think solution.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking problem, because the
Yeah.
problem you already have it, so why think of the problem?
Yeah.
You think solution. So when you go to bed, you crash because you need all the sleep.
Yes.
So it's different how we handle, how every woman handle it with their career.
It's
The
true.
other handles it, takes out her stress on all the workers. Yeah?
It's true. Some of
And
them, yes.
the
it's
other
true.
one comes back home and lashes it on the children. But they are all career women. But how do you bring balance in it? How are you able to be happy? How are you able to make others happy as well?
Yes, yes.
How are you going to be positive for yourself? How are you going to bring your positivity to other people as well and affect them as well with it? And tell them, even if it's so difficult, even if I have to work myself up, how do I remain balanced? And it is possible, very possible, but you have to also train yourself to become that.
Okay, thank you so much. Is it possible we can touch on things that can make people, that can bring people into singleness?
Oh, definitely.
Can we,
think-
because maybe somebody's out there watching and wants to know, how did these beautiful women become single?
Well,
Yeah. Apart from losing a husband, so what are other things that can make a person become single parent?
I think it's you got reasons. I mean, enough reasons.
Is it that the man is lazy? Is it that the man is lazy? The man is a house,
Well-
is a house husband? Because there are some men who don't like to work. So, like from what Vic said she was working. So your own wasn't a problem of he was not providing money.
No, it wasn't a problem of not providing money because he was working, but he wasn't earning as much.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Jealousy.
Okay, jealousy
Yeah,
came
But
out.
then,
relationships.
even when he was, my husband was present there, for me, I felt I was earning enough, so I would be happier if he can go back to school and be with the kids.
Okay.
So I was okay because I know I can still run the house. It's not because he doesn't want to work.
Okay. But were you running the house with, because there are some women, they will run their house, but with pain and
power.
bitterness and sometimes with harsh
Yeah,
words,
but
you know,
that-
making the man feel inferior.
No, that I don't think I had that problem.
Okay,
It's-
let's
yeah,
hear from other
no,
people.
Yeah.
What I think it's different, and a lot of men they don't like women to earn more than them, and they try in the beginning, and afterwards you hear, honey, you're too much woman for me, you know. And you also have in some relationships you have women. They go if something goes wrong, they pick themselves up and they go. But some men, when something goes wrong, they can.
They just remain there.
Oh,
Yeah, they stay
moving.
there, and then they see you going, and they're like, yeah, you don't wait for me. Oh, I don't have time to wait. I want to go. So either you come with me or you
you're
stay
left
where
behind.
you are. So
I don't understand what I'm lost.
when some men they don't
They-
pick
they're not-
themselves up, but the women they're with, they pick themselves up, and the women they go, they grow,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
continue, and the men stay behind.
Really?
And
In
some
the
men,
development, in the
Yes.
personal development. It could be socially, it could be economically, it
Yeah.
could be intellectually.
Yeah.
You
Dealing
know?
with
So
problems, yeah.
yeah, and then when you're in a relationship where you're supposed to be
A man.
you can't be where you're supposed to be the man.
The man,
And
yes,
every
the
woman
man.
needs a man.
Exactly.
You know?
Not
then,
not a boy.
But then what
Exactly.
I can
Yes,
agree
I
with
can-
you. What it means then is you're probably going from having a BSc to having a master and
Yeah.
still remaining in having LBO.
Yeah.
You know, your mentality changes, your orientation changes, your friends changes, your salary changes, but he remains in the same
same
state.
face, yes.
So you become a different person, and then you're leaving him behind. And when that happens, inferiority complex
Comes
comes
in.
into
Yes,
it.
yes,
So
yes,
even
yes.
normally, when everything was normal, if you say to him, "Shut up, honey," and you say it when you have a master, then it becomes disrespect.
Yes.
Oh,
Meanwhile, you can always slap him and say, "Darling, just shut up."
Yeah.
then you all laugh about it.
Yeah.
But when you do that, when you're earning like 1,000 more than the man, then it's like, is it because you're earning more money than me?
It's true.
Oh.
Because then it becomes
Yeah.
disrespect. That's what she means by
Yes,
you're leaving
thank
them
you.
behind.
Yes,
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 You know?
yes, yes.
So I mean, I think a lot of us have been there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
to me, actually, it's a reason why you could be single. It's a reason, but it's not.
Yes.
That's not it. That's not all. I mean, I
No,
think
it's all
it's a
kinds
lot
of,
of-
it's
it's
a
a
lot of
different
issues.
things.
lot
You know,
of-
it
yes.
could be sexual too.
Yeah,
Let's-
exactly.
let's
Of
be
course.
sincere.
Yeah, it's true.
It could be the sexual orientation. No, because it's not as if one is gay and the other is, you know. But the needs, you know, fulfillment of your physical needs.
Yeah.
That could make you a single, beautiful, intelligent woman.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And it could be otherwise. You know, maybe I'm not satisfying him,
Yeah.
and he's not satisfying me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be our ideas. You know, I know people that are single
Communication.
because they have different ideas about raising the children.
Yeah.
I mean, there are enough people. It could be a break in communication. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, it all comes back to breaking communication, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I can't tell you what I want,
What I feel
Yeah.
and
or
what
what
I
I
Exactly.
feel without
Yes.
you taking offense,
Yeah.
then there's a hole there. And then it becomes bigger and bigger until a point where you think, you know what, just
Yes.
pack your load and go.
Exactly.
Especially if you can handle the economical part of it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you need to find, you know, like my mom says, there's a fitting bottle to a fitting cover to every bottle.
Yeah.
So I need to find me a fitting cover, and you would need to find a fitting bottle, and that applies to everybody: beautiful, ugly, intelligent, not intelligent, and you know, I mean, put together, everybody. You know.
But I think also that women, a lot of women dare these days because the world is opening up to them as well, giving them so much advantage in the sense of education. Because we know that education is power. Education makes you stand out and be able to say what you want and how you want it. Even in the choice of having a man, you also have a choice of how the man will have to look. It just doesn't have to be a man
Yeah.
and a man down there. You have to fashion how the man has to look like, even from the clothing to wherever it gets to.
Yes.
And you step into a relationship also being confident, you know, having a plan B. In those days, they don't have plan B. They're just getting married. But now you have a plan B.
But that
You-
plan
you-
B, that is why it is not working.
Yeah, that's why-
because
that's
as a
why-
reverend minister, I don't understand how somebody will be coming and telling me, I want to wed them, and already he or she have plan B.
Yeah,
It
but
means
then-
that is the root of the divorce already.
Yeah, that's the
You see,
that,
that's the root.
That doesn't mean
So
it's
you're
the
not
root.
coming into
It's
the
because
relationship with fullness of this, that you want to build it, but you already have plan B. Like some women who enter into a relationship and you are about to wed them, and they're telling you, Pastor, you know what? I have to this bank account. Can you hold it for me? Because I don't want my husband to know about this bank account. Or can you please take it and give to somebody in my family? That's already plan B.
Yeah, but
You're already
then,
planning to divorce.
you know, it's that's where we come back to that education as well, and that awareness, because awareness media is telling us a lot of things, giving us a lot of stories of things happening. Every woman there, every man there have that little twin of inner assurance, you know, of maybe what if. We all have it, even when the love is like blinding us, you know. So we've seen a lot of people walk in, not wanting to buff themselves up with education or whatever. They just sit, and you have one after the other the children, and they keep coming, and boom, it happens. Not because your fault, not because you went in with a plan B. He had a plan, even a plan C, you know, and it now happens. And you're left at large. You're left at large. We're not talking about plan B that you have to have a fat bank account. We're talking about plan B is that you also have to equip yourself, because the plan B can also be that your husband all of a sudden goes out in the morning, comes back in the afternoon, there is no more job. What do? Pack your bags and go? No.
Like that.
So, but when you are educated, economically, you must have a plan B economically, not a plan B to leave him.
Okay.
But what if something happens and I have to stand on my own, how am I going to look after the children? You don't have to go into a relationship wholly blind, trusting that, oh, the man will carry me.
No.
Even when we go back to the Bible.
We don't carry that way these days.
We have the woman that was spoken about in the Bible.
She was very industrious.
She's very industrious.
Yes.
If that woman doesn't have plan B, everybody will go hungry in the house. You know, and that's what we are. That's the plan B we are talking about. You don't just get into the marriage and you think, oh, I'm getting married now. So, yeah, the man, I want lipstick.
He has to bail me
I want
out.
eye pencil. I want that. And sometimes that brings a lot of irritation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so because it's very few men that think you are working at home, looking after children. They don't see it as a job.
No.
Even when you're working hard, you know. So to lessen the irritation, when the man says, okay, I want you to be home, let it be reasonable that he wants you to be home. That way the children will be cared for, not because he wants to suppress you. And then that doesn't mean you can't acquire education, because there's a lot to do when he's out of the home. There are education online. You can boost yourself up. So that's what we are trying to stress
Exactly.
in this sense.
Yes.
But I understand what Apostle Helen was trying to say as well about women who go into a marriage with a plan B, in the sense that they have things they're hiding from the supposed partner,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you know, to me, I would say then they're not ready to actually submit totally to that relationship, because when you can't even share a bank account with the person you're supposed to say I do to,
Yes.
that's the beginning of trouble for me.
Yes.
I want a relationship where I would
So
know,
transparent.
I would know his deepest secrets.
Yes.
You know, because then I can stand up and vouch for my man.
It's true.
And the other way around, you know, like somebody was telling me, you know, recently, like he read somewhere, like if you cannot sit in the toilet with the person you're supposed to be with,
Yeah.
then you have not found a wife.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
when he's doing caca.
Yeah.
If you both can't stay in the same room,
Yes.
and you see your man do caca,
Yeah.
then
Something
you're
is
still
wrong.
you're still not totally open
Yes.
to each
You are
other.
still superficial.
And that's the kind of man I would want as well. Somebody that will be able to stand me when I'm doing caca,
Yeah.
and I'll be able to do the same with him.
Yeah.
That's the extent of openness.
Yeah.
So if you can do that to each other, what is the bank account?
Nothing.
You know, that means you know each other's coming in and coming out.
Yes.
Yeah, but then
You know?
if you also come, you know, it is so broad. Yeah, it is so broad when you're talking about it, because you know the real show begins after you say I do.
Yeah.
When you're outside a relationship, when you're just having that
When you're
love
courting.
affair, you know,
Yes. You don't
You're
know
not
the
in
man
the show.
yet. Yes.
no matter how much you think you know the man,
Hey.
or no matter how the man thinks he knows you, he's not yet in the show
Until you start
until you
living
say
together.
I do. You
Then
see, when
the
you
real
step
colors
in,
come out.
then it starts little by little. You know, you start seeing it, because the other time the love is like blinding you.
Yeah.
You're not living together, so he can tolerate you and do everything right at that time that you're there.
Yeah.
What about the time you are out there? You know, so you can even be with him when he's doing everything. He's like me. I'm a nurse. You can be doing your caca here, and I'll be eating my food.
Exactly.
And I will tell you, it's all right, no problem.
Yes.
That doesn't push me
At all.
I can do it with anybody. The problem is the heart of a man. In the Igbo language, they say the heart is like a bag.
Not a
Each
man.
one carries his, and they that carry theirs knows what is in it. You do not know what is in another person's bag. They all know.
But that's the openness we want.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I want to know what's in your
Inside
bag.
the
You will
bag.
know what's
You will
in my
not
bag.
know until
Exactly.
what I tell you. That is what you believe to be the openness. Until the trouble comes, then now you realize that there were so much that would have been open, but beyond your own capacity was not open to you. You know,
I think with all these ups and downs and ending up being a single mom, most of it starts with trust. Okay. If you don't trust your wife or you don't trust your husband, you have to start it in the beginning to communicate. Set your communication straight. If you don't do that, you end up being a single mom or a single dad. I think that's the basic of a good relationship of a basic of not being a single mom or a single dad is a trust. The moment you start the relationship, you have to start trusting each other. The moment you see my husband is going that way, there are some men, moment you say it, they fight you. But after a while, you call them, you see them, now you talk to them, they listen. Although they say, leave me. But then when they go, they listen. So it's all about trust and communication.
I think you need to figure out what works with your partner.
With your partner,
because
yes.
if you have a partner that
Who
you
shouts.
can't do fire by fire.
Exactly.
When he's angry, you're angry, nobody's hearing what.
Yes.
Yeah.
One
So-
of you needs to chill.
Yeah, you know-
just like you said,
Yeah.
you might listen, and at that point it tells you, woman, I mean, it's okay, I don't want to hear what you're telling me. But they go away and
then they start thinking about it.
They come back and they think about what you've done or
Yeah.
said to them. Like I've learned, men don't easily come back and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I mean, people say that of me.
They have a way. They
But
have a way of
they
saying
have
I'm
a
sorry.
way of
Yes.
showing they're sorry, or a way of letting you know they are
Yes, sorry.
in accordance with what you said.
Exactly.
You know, maybe come back and do that same thing that you complained about.
Yeah.
And you know,
You do it in another way.
actually being a woman is difficult.
But I think you.
That's the answer.
We need to break them down. We need
Yeah.
to analyze them.
Exactly.
We need to understand them. We
Yeah.
need to accept them.
Yeah.
you
The way
know.
they are,
And
yes.
then when we make our own list, they say, "Do you think you're Queen of Sheba?" Come on.
The,
it's
tr-
a
the
damn
trouble we
difficult
have
job.
as women is that we accept that the man, that it is not easy for the man to say sorry.
Yeah.
Because you accept it.
Yeah.
That's why he goes those corner ways.
Yeah.
And you now take it to be sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't say sorry. And he's not sorry.
But darling,
Your mental, your mind's.
Look. I think.
Yeah, but if 99% of the
Of them
men
are like
are
that.
that way, that's the way they are.
9% are not like that.
I'm
They
telling
are the
you-
way you made them.
No, we didn't
You
make
see
it that
the
way.
same
That's the
man-
way.
No.
You
They
see
have
the same
ego,
man
they have
that
ego.
never says sorry to the other woman
Yeah.
and goes into relationship with the other one but says the sorry.
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah, but that's the way you look. Let's be sincere about this thing. They say women are from Venus and men are from Mars. That's what they say.
Oh.
If you really want to look at it, they're from another planet.
Yes.
It is not me and you that are deciding that.
No.
It's psychologically proven.
That's the way they are.
The way they are with you
Yeah.
might not be the way they will be with her. And
But
let's
there are some
consider
similarities.
Your reaction to him and the way she reacts to the same man is going to be different because you're
Yes.
two different people.
Yeah.
So you bring out the Satan in him,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yes.
And she brings out the
angel
angel in
in-
him. And
exactly.
you're talking about the same thing.
Same man.
You know? So I stopped wondering. Believe me, I stopped wondering. The only thing I try to do, you know, is it might be even my son. I'm not in a relationship. I have a mother-son relationship with my son. Even that is difficult enough because the way I will communicate with my daughter, my kids are teenagers now.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think if your kids are still younger, you still be, you know, wondering what I'm talking about. But I'm at the situation now where I go into negotiation with my kids.
Yeah,
We've
it's
passed the feeling moment when they are just an open and empty hard disk.
Yes.
You know, I've done enough filling in, and now they're actually trying out the applications I fill them in with.
Yes.
So they're asking questions. They are discussing with me. Ma,
Yes.
mama, ma, that, varum that, and that, my yes, I did. So I'm actually negotiating. But with the men, they are like permanently in that state.
With the boy.
Like
Your
my
son.
son is getting into now. So and you're in a relationship that's supposed to be romantic. Yeah, women we want romance.
Yes.
Women, and then you have a man that probably will react to your needs.
I don't know
of
about that
romance.
Huh? Wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
So
yeah.
that doesn't even have an idea.
Of what you're talking about, yeah.
But then he will go to another person that will be able to communicate that idea
Exactly.
to him
Exactly.
differently.
Exactly.
So the
Because
point
if we
is,
want romance
you know,
and you do not let him know that you need romance,
or you don't know how to get to him to know.
you
might
have
even be
to,
saying it
and
to
that
his
is
face,
and
he doesn't
that
understand.
is the level the modern woman is not trying to develop.
Yeah.
Because we must be very open to say what we want at any given time. You don't sit out there and allow the man to figure you out and figure when you are making your face you want him.
You want something.
Say something. Say it the way it is, honey. I want you. is you and me now.
Have you come to a point when you tell your husband or your boyfriend, I want you, and he said, where did you learn that from?
Oh, that's what I want to say. There are men that see
that girl is
put off as well.
Hey, that girl is spoiled.
That's it. You're right about that.
And then, yes, go and tell the friend, hey, this girl, she's spoiled. She always wants me. She's always demanding. Hey, this girl is spoiled. It's also there. It's a very difficult.
No, seriously.
Yeah, it's
you
there.
You just need to find the right person for you to understand your ways and accept your ways.
How are you doing with your girlfriend? Hey, that girl, she's spoiled. Anytime I come home or anytime we are in bed, she doesn't even wait for me. I don't even know. She's spoiled. and then if he doesn't get the right person to talk to say, oh, these days it's possible. Then the other say, where did you meet her? Then that's this girl. How can you meet a woman who is telling you she wants you?
Just like
that girl. No, she's spoiled. My brother. I don't think you are the right place. It's also there. So we have to be very careful.
I think the person, the man would think that way when you started that.
Only after you.
After marriage and after a while, maybe you've lived with him, not ever saying it. That is why he's surprised.
Yeah, you are growing.
But then, if it is the first day, then you ask him. I think I would like to know how large it is under there because that's important. Then he will go, whoa. Then from the beginning, he has to think: do I go on or do I stop now?
Yeah.
And then you tell him, oh no, we just jump on it. We take it slow.
Yeah.
And no, it happens when I want it. If I don't want it, it's not happening.
But that's another.
No. That's control. That's control.
I don't do it out of pity.
No, that's control. That's control.
That's exactly.
It doesn't need to be when you want.
No.
Yeah, but because you have to also make him. There must be the feeling coming from both. And not him thinking he has to fly on me.
Yes.
Anytime he wants, because men like it that you just fly on you.
Yeah.
Do their thing and dust. No, it's not going to be dust.
No, not all men.
A lot of them are like that.
Yeah, not all men. Not all men.
A lot of them. It can be.
Imagine we're already, not in agreement about what men want.
Yeah.
See how difficult it is. For me, I don't think there is a model of man. Yeah. Just like there is no certain model of how women have. What is happening now is we dear as women, we know what we want, how we want it. So we leave out the part of the men also having feelings like we do.
Yeah.
A lot of us, you're an independent woman. I can see that it is shining all over you. And you are the kind of woman that wants to say, this is the way I want it. That's how it's going to be. Bam, bam, bam. But it's not all men that will all go well with your ways.
Vic has developed a very thick skin,
and that happens to me too.
Because of whatever she went through.
I'm a career woman.
Yeah, but not only
I work hard. I get tired.
Yes.
I come home. It has to be mutual. It's not mutual at that moment that I want my sleep. I want you to understand.
Oh, definitely.
That I'm working hard. But I start from the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
You see, from that first beginning, you understand we have time. I come back and I still have to put some details in the computer. You give me space. And I will also inform you, I still have to finish something. We have to have time to do that. And when we're doing it, we know we are doing it as well.
No, but baby girl. No. The fact is this. Your man still wants you, irrespective of your career or whatever.
Yeah.
No, we're not even talking about the sexual aspect of it.
No.
The form aspect of it. The attention. You've been out for 8 hours. And somebody missed you. He also has been out for 8 hours.
Believe me, I don't want you diving me as soon as I come in because I need some breathing.
But I think what our sister here said, communication. If you know each other and a perfect connection. If that's there, then you can talk to each other and you know what the other one likes.
It's about compatibility. Yeah.
Because the man does not allow you to fly him as well. When he has worked, even if you're a housewife, you give him time to rest. You give him. So if you do not get that right from the beginning,
But that's the communication.
that's the communication
That's the first
that
thing you have to do.
it must go
But
right.
the fact is this, even though we still want to push our rights or make our men know what is right and what is not, we still have to retain that feminine aspect of us.
Yeah.
A woman has to be a woman. A woman has to be very, very, attractive. Even in the way you present yourself,
madam, when you're
it has to
coming
be. You don't need to be harsh. When a woman becomes very harsh and very, very controlling, you scare the
confrontational.
Oh yes, and then there's a
Yeah.
miss. There's a miss out there who is eyeing the same man. This miss is ready to be submissive. This miss is ready to, make the best part of that man come out. This miss is ready to feed his ego, feed his ego, to make him feel, yes, you are the right man. And here you are nagging because you've gone to do your 8 hours job. You are nagging, and then you are bragging him, and you are making him look odd. That is part of the reason why.
Especially if you're earning more than him.
You don't.
That's the clause, because then he wouldn't see that as my darling is tired. He sees that as arrogance, as disrespect, and not needing him enough.
Exactly.
Believe me,
and there is a miss. There's a secretary out there waiting to come in. There's a yes, it's true. Is it not?
They're always there.
There's always a secretary out there waiting to come in. So while you are busy nagging, secretary is busy doing all the eyelashes, putting all the nails, and looking more flashy. So you are there just thinking about to raise the kids, and at the same time to pursue your career. And then while you come to the bed, you are smelling milk. While smelling breast.
Milk.
While the secretary out there is really she has perfumed herself, real correct. And then you sit with your smelling breast, and at the same time nagging the man. That's why some of them are single. That's why some of them.
I think it's easier for a career woman.
If you don't bite it, you speak out, because we want to hear what you feel.
No. I think it's easier for a career woman to become single than it is for a needing woman, because naturally men are hunters. They need to be needed. That's the way their anatomy is put together. They need. Okay, let's start from where they are toasting us.
Yeah.
When they are toasting us, believe me, they'll go after the one that keeps saying no. They keep trying, except they give up and think, you know what, I can't meet up with this one.
Yeah.
But if they still see the green light and you're just saying no, they try that. They try the hunting game. They like it. It doesn't stop when they've had you. So if you don't give them something to hunt for, something to wanna, go for, then you don't need them. You bought them out. And if you're a strong woman like you and I, we can easily break down the spirit, the hunting spirit of a man. My personality is very domineering and very there. I'm there in your face. Even if I don't open my mouth, my attitude, the way I look, my facial expression, it has been proven. I can just enter a room and a man start thinking, do you understand? Yeah. And if you know that, you can work with yourself. So imagine how difficult it is to be in a relationship.
Yeah, but but that's the point in having a man.
Yes.
I want to come in.
Yes, come in.
And I want to intimidate the man. I want the man to be able to tell me he's a man and rise up against above that intimidation. That's the man I want. Because I want a man that can bring me down from my high horse. Still respect me, but bring me down. But if the man can't bring me down from my high horse, then you can't manage the home.
He's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Like she said,
Okay, I've understood her. Yes.
That's
because there are some
want.
men who will be so scared, immediately they see that
and
appearance.
if I like a man, I don't have to wait for you to come and start toasting me. Come now, and I will look around. No other person you're hanging on. Then I will toast you myself. Why wouldn't I toast you myself?
That's a modern day girl.
Exactly.
This is what.
This is beautiful.
Away from our culture,
yes.
darling. You and I know that this is what Western ideas,
It's all
education,
about- yes.
and orientation has done to some of us.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
true.
I won't go toast a man, not because I can't. I dare toast a man.
Yeah.
But I'm still so very much in touch with that part of me that thinks I want to relax and wait
For him
them
to come. No,
You know?
no,
I mean, I'm just
no.
saying me, but it's
Oh,
different
yeah.
for you and for
Yeah.
you and for you.
Yeah,
But it
it's
doesn't
different.
make you a
Yeah.
bad. It doesn't make you a bad.
No, it doesn't at all.
It's just
Actually,
you are. You're a go-getter.
Actually, you get what you want.
Yes.
You
That's
get
the
what
good
you
You're a
want. Yes.
go-getter. You're just a
And then-
go-getter, even to that extent.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is what being independence, being a career person, does to women. You know, it's almost making us a e-woman, kind of.
Yeah, it's true.
You're just
she.
there. You know, you're just there, and you know. But is that what we really want? That's the question. Is there a woman that doesn't want to be pampered, that doesn't want to be sorted after, that doesn't want to be taken care of by a man, that doesn't want to be the submissive one and let the man run the home? Believe me, I could use a man that would do my curtains, mow the lawn, you know, earn more than me, you know, play soccer with my kids and treat me like a queen. That's what I want. You know, but believe me, that perfect man doesn't exist
At all.
because my list is too long.
Yeah, exactly.
And the older
So-
we get,
And the older they get, the more difficult
longer
it
it
is
gets.
as well.
Yeah, it's
That's the
true.
reality of being a single career mom. Let's be sincere about that, you know. But it doesn't mean we're not living large and doing our things and being happy. I mean, I say to my friends, you know what? Life has given me limes. You know how sour lime is. But I have tried my best to turn my lime into lemonade.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm loving it.
Yes.
I'm loving it, but I'm not giving up hope on finding that man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yes.
somewhere.
That man that's going to say, SOBJ, you know what? I want to
I'm the one. I'm the one.
but we are still.
I'm single, and you know, and I'm just happy to be me. you know?
But so to round up this whole listen, so can we just share in just one minute what we have learned in all of this singleness? What have we learned? If you are given the chance to have the man you want, what would you like to do? Where would you like to amend in your own lifestyle? Not about the man, but starting with yourself.
That's like a reflection moment.
Yes, exactly.
And I have to bring
Think
it in
about
first,
it.
Yes. You go first.
I think I would like to. I would like the man to. I would like to take a break from doing it all.
Okay.
You know, I've been doing it all. I would say nearly all my adult life. I would like to take a break from doing it all. I would like. I
Yes,
like
exactly.
I like to be.
Pampered.
Yeah, pampered. I don't like that cat pampering kind of thing.
Which one is the cat one?
But I would like.
Tell me, please.
I would like to know he's
Is he
there
real?
and
Capable.
he can do it.
Yes.
You know, to have the trust, he can do it and let go. Learn to let go, because I am still like, even when they are doing it and they are doing it right.
Yeah, you don't appreciate it.
Not that I don't appreciate it, I will still like to.
Suspicious of,
You fold it,
you know,
then I will still like to fold
check
it another
it. Oh my
way
God.
again. I still have to
Perfectionist.
check it.
Yeah,
I have to get it right, and you know, I have to learn how to let my my
Balance
diary rest.
Yes.
Because if somebody is talking to me and you're making an appointment, I'm just listening and I'm listening, and you think you've gone and you've made an appointment with me, and I will tell you I didn't write it down, so that means we didn't make an appointment. So, and I make appointment even with my friends and my partners and my children and everything. So everything has to be perfect. It just has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And when it's not like that, so I would like in a situation where I just have to let go, you know, let it fall down a bit.
Yeah.
Control, actually.
So you
I
are
think
the
that's
one.
what-
You are the one to do it. Nobody's gonna do that. Let it go.
I am the
isn't
one
it?
to. I am the
You are
one
the
to
one.
do it, but then I will still need help. You know, like a reflection of somebody telling me, "Okay, it's all right. Just
Don't
leave
worry.
it." You know, somebody telling me it will be okay. Then I will just go out, and also come back and see. That
It's okay.
it was actually okay, because if it's not okay, then I lose the trust again.
Yeah.
And that's me back to.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem I have, is having control over it. Yeah, that's just me. So
Well, I believe that there's nothing so difficult for God to do if you begin to tell all this thing down to God and ask Him to, help you. He will surely do it. So you lose a little bit of control of yourself and relax in the arms of the person that God is bringing in.
Yeah.
What do you have to say, Sarah?
Well, I am actually working on myself right
Yes.
now. A change of job meant to me a change of lifestyle as well,
Okay.
to some extent. So it's a well thought over decision that I made, because I've been in uniform. Imagine my life. I'm a team leader in a law enforcement body,
Yeah.
and a woman. So I was dominant. I still am dominant to some extent. Dominant, controlling,
Wow.
and in charge, just like you said.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to I had to let go of the control.
Yes, okay.
The control is no longer my problem now,
Okay.
because I have somebody who is actually much more in control than me right now, that is close.
Okay.
So I'm learning to be submissive. But one thing I would make sure is different is compatibility.
Okay.
Compatibility is of a very high importance.
Yes.
I love to watch movies. He has to like movies.
Okay.
I love to dance. He has to be able to move,
Yes.
but tolerate my dancing in public as well.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
a party person. Apostle, you know that.
Yeah.
Facebook is filled with
Yes.
my pictures and
Yes.
party.
Yes.
Because I believe the Holy Book says celebrate life
Yes.
the way it's been given, so that
Exactly.
others will celebrate and give glory to God on
Yes.
your behalf.
Yes, it's
I'm
true.
not doing it because I want to show off all of those places I've been and what
No.
I have achieved, but it's my way of celebrating
Celebrating
life
life,
and
amen.
giving glory to God.
Yes.
So the person has to be able to understand that and see the way I see it.
Yeah.
And that comes in compatibility.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a part of it, but enjoy me
Accept.
being happy
Yes.
in that
Accept.
situation. Accept my publicity.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so compatibility is what I'm gonna try to change. I'm
Okay.
gonna make sure the next person
Yeah.
is compatible with me.
Yes.
My lifestyle, my orientation,
Yes.
my intellect,
Yes.
very important.
everything.
It is very, very important.
My hobbies,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So
Well,
this batch.
I relate to what you just said.
Yeah.
But also, there's one story. I had problems with my car, and I was standing. How you call it, in the vluchtstrook?
Yeah.
Yes. And
By
then
the
I
roadside.
opened the hood, and I was working on the car. And then the two men came. Lady, can we help you? You're a beautiful man. I said, no, I can handle it myself. And they walked away. And oh, wow. Why did I do that? So I need to do like I cannot handle everything. And that's what I have to work on, because you do everything by yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
this is
when you
true.
come home, you're like walking with all the bags, and the neighbors, can I help you? No, I'm okay with this. I'm doing this every day. You know, stuff like that. And, I'm happy that my son, I was in the car with my son last week, and then he said, Mom, I want to tell you something.
Yes.
He said, I don't want to be like my dad.
Oh.
I want to be better than my dad, but I like to be like you.
Wow.
And I was like, oh wow, I can let go. Now I can let go, because a part of it for me not finding a partner is because I was like protective of my children.
Yes.
You cannot, I think you can relate. You cannot
Yeah.
let go. You have to be there or
All the
always.
time, yes.
And I have like a lot of operations, like 7
Yeah.
years in a row.
Yes.
operation.
Operations. Yeah.
And there was nobody there but my children. And then when you go to bed, you want someone to hold you. And honey,
Yes.
it's okay.
Yes.
But then you get your children, Mom, are you not dying? No, you keep on being
Because
strong.
if you are down,
you
they are
go to
also
bed,
down.
you're strong. You wake up, you're strong.
You're
You don't
always
like strong, but I don't want to be strong. Always. I just want to be.
You, the
know,
girl,
woman, you
the
know.
girl in you has to come out.
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And I'm someone, I have a lot of energy. So I need someone who has energy too, who likes to laugh. I love life, you know.
Yes.
After all those operations, every day you open your eyes. Yes, I'm here. Yes. So what am I going to do today? So people are like, oh, you're always smiling. Yes, I'm alive.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm smiling. You know, there's no time to
No
be
dull moments.
No, and I tell people, if I'm down, I'm not going out, because if I find the man of my dreams and I'm like, not my day, hi, no, it's not working. So when I go out, I'm like, yes,
Here I come.
Here I come. So I don't have to be strong anymore.
Oh,
And I'm
this
going to
woman.
find me a man this year, and then I'll be back.
Your bottle's gonna have a cover.
Okay, thank you, sister. And Pastor, I'll be here with mine.
Oh, awesome! Oh, I'm waiting to do the wedding ceremony. Awesome. So, Susan.
I think on my side, I've come to terms with the ups and downs, and I've come to love myself. And the most important thing in going into a new relationship is communication.
Okay.
You need to communicate. You don't have to be at a point where, like our mothers, when your husband say this, you have to accept it. It's a time for us to communicate, to bring your voice out. If your husband is saying something you are not comfortable with or you disagree, you have to be able to find a way, not shouting and shouting back, but another way of knowing who he is and the way he likes you to communicate with him.
Yeah.
And then everything will be fine.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, those of you who have listened to this program, we hope you have enjoyed it. And remember, you can always give a call on the studio line on 023 374 160. And in case maybe you didn't start from the onset, you will get this video on the YouTube. So, thank you for being with us. Ladies, it has been wonderful. Is there any other thing we forgot to speak about?
I think
Any goodbye message?
I thought we left something out. I mean, for me, and you know, in my community, I try to encourage African immigrants to, you know, to take the large step.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get beaten by all the problems of living in a country where they don't speak the same language
Yes.
with you. Don't shorten yourself. And the career possibilities you have.
Yes.
And I'm trying to say this to women as well. You know, single or not single,
Yes.
don't shorten your possibilities. But most importantly, I wouldn't want any woman to think I want to be like SOBJ, so
Yeah.
I'm leaving my partner. You know, I mean, this is one thing I need people to know, because it's not a trend
No,
that
it's
you
not.
need to follow to be successful. You know, I mean, success did not start in a day. We didn't get to where we are by just, you know, deciding to
leave the man.
leaving the man. It's
No.
not about leaving the man that's made you successful.
No.
You know, I mean, that's not the message here.
Yeah.
So I want us all to, you know, just give it out there. Let people know. We're not preaching leave your man.
No,
you know.
no,
We are
no.
just trying to share the ups and downs
Yes.
and
How
what
you
we
can
have
still-
made
yes,
of it. You
yes,
know,
yes.
I would want to be a Mrs. somebody
Yes.
someday.
You will.
Amen.
You
But
will.
then I want to do it right.
Yes.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I want to do it right this time. So I'm giving it out there. Is it that you take the decision to do it right from the beginning, and you are in it and it's not working out? I'd rather have a happy woman
Yes.
who is alive and well than
Than
to know a
the
sister who is sad and
wounded
living
and depressed.
unhappily
Yes.
Mrs.
forever. You know, that's the
Mrs.
message.
Stress.
Unhappy.
You know,
Mrs.
unhappy.
You have them. You have Mrs. Stressed up. You know, so you don't want to be
Mrs. Killjoy.
Mrs.
There's no
Stressed
joy
up.
in
She's
them.
Mrs. but she's stressed up.
Yeah.
The only thing she has is
the name, Mrs.
Is the name Mrs. But
Title,
then
actually.
she's dying from head to toe.
So that's the message I want to leave the people with, you know.
Ness, is there anything you want to leave
I'll
us
say,
with?
if you find yourself in a situation of being a single mom, whether by choice or by circumstance, whichever way, that you know that you can be anything you want to be.
Yes.
You can combine it all. It's not easy, but it is very possible.
Yes.
And if you remain positive, it is very possible. You can always ask for help, how you can get help to be able to be on your own and give your children the best out there. And you shouldn't blame yourself for finding yourself in that situation, but should be open to to making your life a better one, making the children a better children, and creating a home that is suitable for you the way you like it. And then, yeah, if along the way you decide that you want a partner, then you weigh the things you did wrong in the other one, the things you never really did to help it, and do it better in the next one. And I just hope a whole lot of women out there will understand that they have a lot in them to bring
only a
them to the
husband.
height
Yes.
they want to be.
Yes.
And I wish you success in whatever situation you find yourself. And I will always say, just keep smiling, be positive,
Yes.
and then when you have problem, find a good friend, find a good mentor, and
Yes.
share your problems. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think we are done.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Well, just be the best version of yourself.
The
If you're
best.
single or if you're in a relationship. If you cannot be the best version in your best version of yourself in a relationship, then you have to think about being single and be the best version.
Yes.
That's what I
But for me, I think.
But it is hard. That's the
Yeah,
only
it
thing.
is. I think for single mothers, as much as they are also thinking about their children, they should also know that the children are thinking about their joy. So whatever decision you are making to improve your career and at the same time improve the lifestyle of your children, remember also you have a life to live, because
Yes.
very soon those kids are going to be grown-ups
They will
and they will leave you, and then you will become
Yes,
lonely.
I'm
So
there now.
now you are young. Now you are young and you still have some beauty in you. Make use of it.
Yes.
That's true.
That's what I think. Make use of it. Now you are young, because you don't need to allow all the wrinkles to come, and then no man will want you when you become too old. So now you are young. Make good use of that beauty, and then get yourself settled back in case you want a man. But if you don't want any man, okay, make sure that that's the choice you've chosen, and you will be happy with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
for
Thank you for
having
being
us.
with us.
It's
Thank
nice
you.
being
Thank
with
you
you.
so much. Thank you. Thank you. You want to talk about your business? Any one of you? Any comedy coming up? Any entertainment? Anything?
I'm going to perform in Suriname the first week of September, and I'm going to be the MC at Kwaku
Kwaku.
on next Saturday and all Saturdays of Kwaku.
Oh,
I'll
really?
be there. Yes.
Wow. So we're gonna come and see you then.
Okay.
All right.
And for me, there is a planning committee for all the Ghanaians in the Netherlands. We call it Kogan. And then we are planning to have all Ghanaians organization on this platform, so that in case the Ghana government or the Dutch government want to do something with we the Ghanaians, they know where to find us. That is what I'm busy now. I am a member of the planning committee, and then very soon we are going to have elections. So all the Ghanaians community, it being an organization or a personal, if you don't know about us, I'm talking about it today. We are called Kogan, and you can find us from Ghana Embassy, or you go on the Sato TV. There are all sorts of advertisement going on. So that's what is cooking now for the Ghanaians in the Netherlands.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sarimake, anything we can expect?
Wow, Sarimakia is just a one-man show, you know. But then, in as much as I'm working independently, I take care of a lot of people as a registered nurse.
Yes.
It takes a lot. That means you're continuously in study. We have a whole lot of our African women who are also in health, and they have a lot to do. They are very intelligent, and you see that they limit themselves to what they are given. And I would say I'm an example of somebody who can step out and say, I can stand on my own and do it and work more and aim what I am supposed to aim for, what I studied for. It is possible, but you have to go for it. And at the moment, I just rounded up being a medical pedicure.
Yeah.
Because I feel also in my field that it is needed. It helps me in my field as well to be able to help people, give them advice, and also enhance my professionalism.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sarah,
Oh, well.
Culture Jam.
Culture Jam. Culture
Yes.
Jam is becoming an household name. So
Yeah.
the idea behind Culture Jam, for those who don't know it, is helping in the emancipation of African immigrants in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like a think tank for when you want to do anything and you don't know where to go to, you don't know about the procedures, the bureaucracy behind everything you can achieve in this country, you know. So with that, you know, you can always find me on Facebook, and you know, and we continue in our service to fellow African immigrants.
Yeah.
Just get in touch and, you know, lay down your problems on me and let me go look for a solution or
Yeah.
advice on
Yeah.
what you want
Awesome.
to do, you know. So,
Awesome.
and then right now I'm on holidays. I work with Gemeente Rotterdam,
Yeah.
you know, as an educational law enforcement, and I'm taking a 6 weeks holiday. So, you know, that's what's happening right
I would
now.
have loved that.
You know.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
Because I forgot. The 27th of August, there will be women talk
Okay.
in the Stad Schouwburg in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were gonna, all women.
All
gonna talk-
women.
Yeah, with Marge.
Yeah.
With Marjorie. We're
Mm.
gonna talk about stuff we normally don't want to talk about.
Wow,
Okay,
really?
so-
So are you inviting us then?
Yes, the 27th of August.
Okay.
In Stad Schouwburg is gonna be big, like 500 or more women.
Wow, awesome. So where was the time?
27.
No time.
The time
Evening or-
8:30 it will be.
Half
Yes,
past 8:30.
8:30.
7:30.
I think 1 hour and a half.
Okay.
Yes, because women like to talk.
Yeah.
Well, that has been it. And those of you who still want to know more about relationship, my name is Apostle Helen Udokino. I'm also a relationship consultant, relationship and family life consultant. So you can go to my webinar, my website, helenru.org, and then you can see some of the courses I do give online. So those who are looking for a way to enter into relationship or to enhance your relationship, your marriages, please, you can sign up for some of my courses, and then you will really enjoy some of the things I discuss here, raw and very practical. So that is it for now. God richly bless us, and women, I love you, and I love you, I love you.
Thank you very much for
Bye for watching us.